Along with women's basketball head coach Tom Collen, I'm Alex Perlman. Glad to join you here as we get ready for Sunday's ball game. Today, it is Arkansas at Missouri. First SEC road contest. You had your first SEC game against the number 13 team in the country, 55-51, a defeat to South Carolina. But what kind of things did you learn in that game here from this very young team?
Well, I think our freshmen learned the most. I think our veterans knew going in that it was going to be a struggle and that the defense was going to be pretty good and it was going to be physical. But for the first time, our freshmen actually experienced that, and that's just something that freshmen need to go through in order to learn it. You can preach and preach sometimes to these kids, but they don't get it until they experience it. So we learned how to deal with it, I think, hopefully. We're going to see other teams in our conference that are physical like them. Maybe not another team that's quite as good defensively as they are. But certainly, hopefully, our young kids can embrace that and understand it. And the first step towards getting better is admitting that you've got some faults and admitting that you weren't as prepared as maybe what you thought you were. And if they can do that, and I think they have embraced that, then I think they can continue to improve.
Well, it's a new challenge today as Arkansas goes on the road in the SEC for the first time. Again, 7 freshmen, a lot to adjust to here, and Columbia is no easy place to play. This is going to be a very interesting contest for this team, seeing if they can defend the 3 against Missouri.
Well, they've done a pretty good job of promoting. Their crowds are starting to get a little bit bigger. We had a great game up there with them last year and found a way to pull it out in the end, and then we played them again here last year at home. So, we got some experience against them, and it's good. They're our rivalry game. We're going to be playing them twice a year from now on. So, they're an outstanding basketball team. They do a good job. They have some ups and downs, but boy, on the night when they're up and they're making their 3-point shots, they can compete with anybody in the country.
How difficult is it to win on the road in the SEC?
It's very hard. I mean, we got 14 teams in this league, and right now all 14 are pretty solid, and 12 of them were probably NCAA-type teams. We know that many teams aren't going to get in, but I think you've got that many teams that feel like they have a chance to get in. And when you do that, they're competing, especially early in the year. It's like you have every reason to believe that you can finish in the top 5 or 6. As the season goes on, every once in a while, you run into some teams that have been beat up and they're a little down, but that's not the case early on. Missouri went on the road, won at Ole Miss. They're 1-0. They got us coming at home. They're looking forward to being 2-0 in the SEC for the first time in the history of their program.
And this is the fun part about the SEC is you come in and you see 2 completely contrasting styles of play. South Carolina, defensive-minded, tough, physical. Missouri, finesse, loves to shoot the 3. They're going to chuck it up 15-24 against Ole Miss. When they're hitting, they can be very difficult to beat.
Well, they're hard to guard. You kind of have to sell out to guard in the 3-point line against them a little bit, and then that opens you up to some other things. And I think they've probably learned that over the years. I know when we played them down here in our second game, their philosophy in terms of how they attacked us changed drastically. In the second half of the game, they spread us out and started dribble driving us because they knew we weren't going to give them any 3s. So, they learned from that experience. So they're probably going to be really prepared for us this time in Columbia.
Looking forward to the first SEC road game of this season, 2 o'clock out in Columbia, as Coach just said. So for Tom Collen, I'm Alex Perlman for Razor Vision.